All right. I can't hear myself though.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We just had Artie and Anima doing awesome back to back, and we're here on Anonymous Frequencies. This is Sunday, and we're gonna get right to it. Girl chat. So thank you for everyone that's tuned in, and for those that are watching post showing as well. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. Artie, aka Paola. Well, Paola, aka Artie. And then Anima from there.
Yeah, so my name is Paola, but artistic name is Artie. I'm from Venezuela. I was raised here in Miami. Um, this is actually my best friend. I've known her since we were like 8.
Bridesmaid, may I say?
Yeah, also a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically have been in Miami my whole life. Came when I was 4 and been here since.
Yeah, I guess my story is a bit similar to Pao's. I am a singer, songwriter, DJ, multi instrumentalist. I'm Chilean, Venezuelan. Those are my two nationalities. But I'm based in Miami. I've been here since I was 10, and I think I've been inclined to house music since a very early age. And I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends the other day, and I was telling him, I was like, I remember being like 13, 14 years old, and like when everybody was listening to like Toxic, I was listening to Bob Sinclair. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. And so I guess I was like kind of like the odd sheep in the group. So for me, house music started at a very early age because I was always attracted to that kind of music.
Upbeat.
Yeah, and it's funny because back then that music was considered more techno than anything. Like people threw the word techno around like if it was yeah, and it's right. But and now there's so many beautiful spectrums that you can fall in, and I think the coolest thing about being a DJ is it's exploring that, how many different things you can do with this kind of music, how many things you can mix. I mean, you're kind of diving into that right now, and I think it's beautiful to see you go from like discovering tech and other type of genres, and then like falling into funk and disco and yeah.
I definitely do like to say that like I do play specifically a certain type of way, like at a club versus like, like a chill live stream or like at a rooftop. Like, you just have to scope out the vibes and see what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And to add to like sorry, I used the word like. I used to be a teacher.
Me too,
I
girl.
tried to not like
Teacher
use it.
squad, I get you.
But from there, you're telling us a little brief background, but I want to dive more deeper into that. I want to know like the idea of how you first connected with music, because you both have a background as vocalists, right? And you play instruments as well.
Yeah.
So I want to know more about that, because actually it's something that I want to know.
Just to piggyback right on what Christy said, I truly believe that if you understand music through an instrument, and maybe grasp just a tiny bit of what music theory is, that's half the battle. Personally, for instance, Bao and I have been in music for so long.
Yeah,
Since we
so
were like 10 years old, we met in a musical theater camp. See, that's what I want to know. Yeah.
so that's basically my musical background. I started in this uh, musical theater conservatory when I was 8, and I did it for 10 years. And it was where I did all my vocal training, and I also did dancing and acting, and that's basically where all my musical like history and creativity derived from. And then, funny enough, after I got out of that, I was like, hey, Annie, I want to sing outside of this, because, like, that time had passed, and she got me my first singing gig. And it was super cool, because then now, a couple years later, I'm, like, discovering DJing and how I really like it. And funny enough, she also gave me my first DJ gig. So it's just really cool how, like, you connect like that at
Yeah.
such an early age. And,
Totally.
yeah.
For me, I feel like when it comes to DJing, I really have to give a big shout out to my mentor, Rod. He's an amazing Brazilian DJ, good friend of mine. He taught me everything I know about DJing. And I remember one day I was talking to him and I was like, I really want to get into this. And he was like, do you really want to get into this? Like, don't waste my fucking time. Right. You know, he was very honest about it. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And he sat me down for 4 hours straight, nonstop. And he taught me like all the music theory and like how to understand wavelengths and like BPMs and transitions. And I guess I owe most of it to him.
Yeah.
And I mean, did you ever have a mentor?
Yeah, like now that I think about it, for sure, his name is Good Reason Gurus.
Okay.
He was the one that basically, like, I just saw him DJing one day, and he goes, I want to learn how to do this, and he's like, okay. So every time that I would go over, we would just be in his balcony, and he would be mixing, and I'm like, what does that do? What does that do? I love asking a lot of questions, and he was very patient. So shout out Good Reason Gurus. He would be like, dude, like he would never like make me feel like I'm asking too much, or he would be like, well, this is why, and then this is this, and you know, it was just super cool that he was able to do that for me. Yeah.
And then obviously cool, you know, we went on this journey to be a DJ, to be DJs, but then we were like, how do we monetize it? You know, like how do we make this not a job, but something that we can support ourselves financially, you know? Right. And that's where we kind of like dove into, you know, finding agents that would place us in places, knocking on doors and venues, and I guess just like not being afraid to put yourself out there, you know, and being confident in the product that you are willing to offer, you know.
So you're speaking more of, we understand that moment where you feel like you can do it more than just a hobby.
100%.
So
I mean, I can say with confidence that right now I'm living off of music
good,
comfortably. Yeah. You know, I'm very lucky to say that, and not just DJing, but also as a singer. I have an album out. I have a duo, a trio, a full band that I perform with, and you know, if I could say anything to anybody that's like trying to do that, is take the leap of faith, because I feel like everything just like falls into place the way that it's supposed to, and you start like having these doors open for you and meeting these people and connecting, and it just happens organically. Yeah, it happens organically. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
awesome. Well, thank you for the background info. And this is just the beginning of Girl Chat. We're going to keep going into some more conversations. And I want to now introduce Pili.
Bueno, me again, Pili Violeta.
Welcome.
Thank you. Bueno, ya saben, les voy a hablar en español para mis fans, como dicen.
A los fans, sí. So,
no,
podemos hablar un poco.
A ver.
Your background again, real quick.
Sí, bueno, tengo una agencia de DJ que la empecé hace como unos 8 o 9 meses. Antes me dedicaba al arte, pero siempre me gustó la música, pero después, bueno, me casé, tuve hijos y en ese lapso no hice nada mal. Tienen que seguir haciendo música. Y ahora lo que hago, estoy produciendo música experimental, la cual creo que en Miami todavía no están preparados como para aceptar ese tipo de música, ¿no? Como techno, como algunas otras variedades de música que todavía no. Pero que dentro de poco ya va a empezar a aparecer. Después lo que está... ¿Cuándo empezaste a ser DJ?
To DJ?
Sí.
Like a year ago.
A year ago. Y antes vivías... Lo que quería decir es... tengo un montón de DJs de montones de países latinos, como por ejemplo los DJs de Colombia son maravillosos. O sea, maravillosos. O sea, tienen un montón de percusión, tienen un buen oído, ¿no? Pero no pueden triunfar en su propio país, tienen que salir a otros lugares para que puedan ser reconocidos. Si se quedan en ese mismo país todo el tiempo, no les va a funcionar. Ayer, por ejemplo, una DJ de Venezuela se tuvo que ir a Berlín a estudiar para poder prepararse bien, porque no tiene alternativas en Miami o en su propio país, ¿no? Entonces lo que hacen es, ella que tiene la posibilidad, pero ¿qué pasa? Que yo que encuentro talentos, si encontrás un talento y no tiene la posibilidad de estudiar o de prepararse o de mostrar su música, se queda frustrado. Entonces creo que son muy afortunadas de poder mostrar su arte, porque esto es un arte. Y después, yo que tengo una agencia, digo, me dicen, bueno, yo lo hago por el arte, pero en realidad a veces no les cobro, a veces les cobro. A mí me parece que el artista tiene que tener, por su trabajo, tiene que tener un valor desde el principio. Yo a todos les pregunto, a ver, ¿cuánto querés cobrar por ir a tocar ese venue, por ejemplo? Casi la mayoría de los DJs y de las DJs no tienen un precio estipulado. O sea, no me dicen. O sea,
Quisiera agregar a eso. Creo
sí,
que
por favor.
al principio es un poco difícil porque cuando estás empezando algo nuevo, así sea DJing o cantando o lo que sea, lo que te apasiona, cuando estás empezando algo nuevo, sí, la gente se aprovecha de esas personas que tienen ese deseo de, por ejemplo, DJing. Yo me acuerdo cuando yo empecé, yo quería tocar en todos los lugares porque quería aprender, no tenía ese equipo en la casa, ese, ¿sabes? El setup de los CDJs y todo eso. Entonces, yo creo que es definitivamente algo que se aprende poco a poco y que sí debería ser algo como te empiezas a valorar poco a poco cuando ves que la gente te busca, la gente te llama, pero creo que sí es un proceso. Sí, tranquila. Sí es un proceso y tienes que ir por ese proceso, porque yo no puedo empezar desde cero y decir voy a cobrar $100 empezando como que ayer, you know? Ese es un poquito de un proceso.
You know, it's funny because I started at 11 years old, right? DJing, and this topic kind of rings a bell. I started going to friends' gatherings with my iPod. And so we were doing our dances and having our gatherings, but with music. And I got a whole sound system when we wanted it louder. Sound system with aux cord. Then I got the little Newmark $100 controller. The mix track. So, okay, now I have the full setup. But what happened in my shift of it becoming more of like a fun hobby with my friends, my dad told me, okay, now they're telling you to go for the birthday parties, bring all your equipment. That means I have to be there.
Right. Your time
So if your commitment is needed, what are you getting out of it? It's the commitment. So you have to have those discussions with yourself too, as to it's not just open decks or meeting up or who's benefiting from what. It's a matter of your product, which is you, being placed on a pressure and what's the word? You're now you have pressure because you need to be there. You can't say no. Oh no, it's not as easy as oh no, I won't make it. It's not open decks.
And I think that it's also like they don't really see what we do behind closed doors, which is like prepping for this, you know, taking time off to do something else, to go and do that, and that in itself is already valuable. Like your time is priceless.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm gonna circle back to when I said that you have a product that you're presenting to venues and places, and I think what some DJs struggle with is that if they don't have the products, if they don't have the equipment, the controller, the speakers, and they're just kind of like showing up with their USBs, and they're just beginning, I can understand why it's hard to put a price on that. You know, like if you're a beginner, you're not gonna cost as much as a master, as a professional who's been doing it for years. Like my price when I started is not the same as the one I charge today. And today I have a really expensive controller that I put my own hard-earned money on. I have 2 PAs, I have a mixer. I mean, I have the whole shebang. So I can, with confidence, put a price on that.
Which some people don't have, you know? Like
Right.
They just show up and the venue already has it.
But if you think about it, right. But if you're providing any type of curation of music, period, whether you are with a controller or without one or just your USB, all of that has a price. So it's just knowing what number you're looking at. Exactly. You know, just it's a numbers thing, I feel.
My last thing to add to that, I know, and then Billy's gonna talk. My last thing would be, I mean, now looking back, because I just gave you an example of when I first started, which was 15 years ago. I was a little girl, not anything like today. Thank you. And you see, those are examples though, of experiences that help shape me where I'm at. My dad gave me that business comment, you know, because he noticed like I was going to play everywhere. He's like, they need to pay you because now you're not there like as a guest. You're there like the party. Yeah, full mobile DJ set. It's funny because I'm gonna say it though. I always, for years, I was at 11 years old, well, 12 probably by the time I actually started charging. But with the whole setup, as a 12-year-old, I was charging 175, a full party, mobile DJing. That was like the minimum, like that at least to make sense of the product and the service. Because if they booked a DJ, anyone else, it would have been like 300-400 at the time. Mobile DJs costed, at, 15 years ago. So imagine with me going there as a 12-year-old, putting the speakers and the setup and from nothing, because I would go to houses. So lights and everything, fog, everything. If I, you know. Oh yeah, DJ Stanka. Hey, that, you know, I just kept the vibes going. So there is. I can show you that. That's for sure. Pili, you had something to say, I think.
Bueno, a ver. Yo creo que más allá del precio que te puedes poner cuando empiezas, ¿no? Cuando empiezas. Lo digo para la mayoría de las personas que están empezando. A ver, ¿cuál es tu visión? Una vez que empiezas a hacer DJ, ¿qué es lo que querés? ¿Querés estoquearte de tus equipos, de todas tus cosas? Pero al pensar en que querés estoquearte tus equipos, querer esto que el otro, te das un valor que sabés que es menos. Entonces, a veces hay que priorizar cuánto vale uno como artista más allá del tiempo que dures en conseguir tus equipos y tus cosas y qué sé yo. Porque si no, perdés la visión como de, o sea, ¿por qué estás siendo DJ? Porque te gusta, porque lo sentís, porque te encanta, porque te gusta explorar los sonidos, porque, bueno, es todo, ¿no? Una cosa así bien grande. Entonces, cuando vas a tocar a cualquier lugar con tal de conseguir poder comprarte los equipos, perdés como esa otra parte que es súper importante, ¿no? Eso digo. No estoy jugando, no juzgo, pero digo que está bueno para, no sé, decir a otra persona que está empezando que diga, bueno, no te enfoques tanto en los equipos para mi visión, sino enfócate en lo que puedes aprender. Bueno, es verdad que ahora hay muchas más posibilidades, que vas a cualquier lugar y puedes practicar por porque no es tan caro practicar en lugares, ¿no? Pero sí es cierto que antes salían las cosas muchísimo más caras, ahora tenés millones de posibilidades, usados, que no usados, bueno, hay millones de DJs que venden cosas también, donadas también, pero el tema es no perder como tu focus de qué, qué es lo que, a ver, qué estás haciendo con la música, porque la música que estás haciendo, la que estás tocando, estás transmitiendo a otra persona, a un montón de personas, que esos tienen unas frecuencias de las cuales podés sanar un montón de personas o destruir. O sea,
Sí, antes de seguir en ese tema, I wanted to add also what I meant to say about the comparison of like starting and the mind and the thought process behind an artist. What I would recommend, I'm just like thinking now because where I'm at, I get to talk about my past beginning stages. I would recommend that also, it's not about worth or charging or not, but something that I heard the other day, it was kind of like an advice for, I was observing a meeting of possible event or something, right? And someone made a comment outside of the meeting, they like heard it and they're like, oh, don't ever make it free. Even if it's like $2, $5, but that changes the whole game to who is coming or who goes in, or the value of the service. Even if it's a penny.
Yeah.
The point is that we have a lot of opportunities, and when we become too lenient, I think, and the structures are taken loosely, then it becomes a long turn of events for the future, and
you open
people
the door
get away.
you open the door for people to possibly step all over you.
Exactly,
And,
so-
and put their own price on you. Which is
Exactly.
even worse.
So-
because when that happens, I feel like it's really hard to get out of it.
Exactly.
But just to
So-
echo your words for a second, I think you can, if you put in an itemized bill for anybody that's trying to hire you, for maybe for a beginner, you can be like, well, I spent gas coming here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? This is time that I could be spending doing something else, you know, which time is also money.
Exactly.
This is also time that I took from doing X, Y, and Z to curate the party that you're asking me for. So you can express it to them in that way, and that is already a financial asset to the venue
Oh, for sure.
or to anybody that's hiring.
For sure.
And then obviously as you move forward and you know you start spending and investing on your career, the itemized bill gets a lot bigger.
Exactly, and
You
that's
know?
the point that what we're getting at is, I think now, I mean, I've never really thought about all of this, honestly. Like, it's just obvious as we talk, we our minds continue processing more, and you start looking at things from different points of view and different ways you don't realize. And I would say that out of this conversation, something to promote is just that confidence of putting a value on yourself as an artist.
Yeah.
Because some people might think they're not ready for it, but even if you $25, up to 50, like at least for the gas, the something, so just to show, because all of that, what it does is, from what I'm understanding, is it takes two to tango, you know? Like, you have the customer and you have the artist, right? So they ask you to play, they've already reached out. Now you have to ask for something, you know, because if not, it's just a one way.
And can I add one more thing?
Yeah, yeah,
And I
go
feel
for
like
that.
if there's anybody that's listening to this right now that wants to do this for a living, I think a really big mistake that a lot of not only DJs but live musicians too do is they'll accept alcohol as a payment and as a trade-off. That's another way to open the door for them to put a price on you. Like, you don't pay your bills with a drink. You don't pay your bills with and
2 drink coupons.
a
like.
meal, or like whatever they might offer you. Like, oh, I'll give you a bucket of beer. You know, let me give you 3 drinks on the house. Like, you don't pay your bills, right? Like that. So, yeah, yeah. I mean,
That should be the bonus.
it's
That should.
encouraged, you know. But don't accept it as payment, because then you're teaching them how to treat you with your pockets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Again, it's also like a learning curve. You do as like I haven't started since I was 11, but I can just imagine you're like, girl, been there, done that. But yeah, but I definitely yeah,
I think it would be sick if you meet a little girl that's like 11 and like
Seriously.
starting.
sick. Shout out
Shout
DJ
out
Julie.
DJ Julie.
Straight up. Link below.
We just edited her hashtag. You know, something else that I wanted to add on, and this is more pertaining to my best friend. I first of all, it's such a blessing to play with you.
Yeah,
You have come
likewise.
such a long way, and it's really cool to see you shine. And it's just a thought that I had when I was playing with her in on the set, and I was like, damn. When we first started, it was more like, fuck, I hope you don't mess up the BPM, like match, beat match.
Yeah.
And now it's, we're at another level, and it's more like, watch this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, check out this track. Like, we're truly, not only engaged,
You're
but
not
like,
worried about what's happening
we're
like
owning
technical wise.
We're owning like the moment, you know,
Yeah.
together, and I think that's I wanted to share that. I think
Yeah,
it's really
you're so sweet. I love you. Yeah, it's definitely once you get comfortable with the equipment, everything else just flows creative wise. Like you're just there, lost in the zone. Like I was really tired coming in today, and then as soon as we got behind the decks, I'm like, dude, this is great. Like you're just like it just takes you. Like the music really does take you, and yeah, it's super cool to.
They say when you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life.
cool. Amen.
So,
Amen,
you know,
amen.
I felt that the other day. I was like, it's nice, but then I'm like, every day is a work day. But I
mean,
love it. And
I
I'm
guess
blessed.
as artists that are, you know, monetizing our art, wow, I lost my train of thought. I have so many thoughts right now running through my head that I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes, got it. As artists that are monetizing your exactly our art, we're entrepreneurs, and everybody says it. You know, when you get out of your 9 to 5, your slave 9 to 5 job, and then you become an entrepreneur, you don't work 9 to 5 anymore. Yeah. You work 24/7. Yeah. And that's kind of it for a lot of us, you know. And when we're constantly trying to like reinvent ourselves, learn as much as we can, see, you know, what's the next investment to do in our career, X, Y, and Z. No. I mean, tú tienes una agencia ahora, ¿no? De DJs, entonces también de alguna forma u otra eres una entrepreneur.
Sí, yo mis DJs, los que tengo, acá, vean. Los DJs que yo tengo son, la mayoría son de Asia y todos los DJs, la mayoría, no todos, son artistas que aman la música, o sea, no lo hacen por dinero, o sea, y no es que les sobre, no les sobra, no tienen, pero lo hacen por el amor a la música, por la pasión. Entonces, para mí es muy difícil decir que soy una persona que busca DJs para ponerlos en un lugar y en ese lugar, bueno, gano dinero y me saco un porcentaje. No. O sea, no. Mi agencia es totalmente orgánica. No gano un centavo hasta ahora. Lo único que hice fue invertir y encontrar talentos que... Esos mismos talentos cuando triunfan, yo me siento como digo, wow. O sea...
Y no solamente eso, pero qué lindo ser parte de ese proceso, ¿no?
Porque es que a mí me gusta la música también. Entonces, yo soy una DJ también, entonces como mi música no se puede escuchar todavía porque es experimental, porque no hay lugares para tocar, porque no me van a pagar lo que yo creo que merezco, entonces ¿qué hago? Toco para mí, o sea, produzco música para mí o para la gente amiga. Pero si voy a un lugar y yo me estoy dando cuenta que mi arte vale tanto y vienen y me dicen, bueno, te voy a pagar, no sé, 20 pesos, $20. Bueno, no, gracias. Me voy.
Y también como que te desanima, ¿sabes? Como que cuando
Te-
por fin decides salir y poner tu música allá a una audiencia y te dice como que, ah, bueno, sí, pero esto vale esto. Y como que te desanima eso porque es como que, wow, yo trabajé tanto para esto y me salí de mi zona de confort para poder hacerlo y después como que te...
Es que es al revés. O sea, hay que educar a la gente para que, para que se den cuenta de que no estás ahí jugando. A ver,
Total.
una maestra se recibe de maestra, todas las maestras se reciben maestras. En el beginning, ¿cuánto les pagan? Lo mismo que otras maestras. O sea, la persona no va gratis a enseñar. O sea, entonces los mismos los DJs. Si vos estás estudiando para ser DJ y estás preparándote, poniendo todas tus emociones, porque también pones tus emociones, tus ganas, tu energía, tu todo, o sea, tenés que saber lo que valés. O sea, yo les digo a todos los DJs que conozco, no importa cuándo empezaste, si empezaste hace un mes, si empezaste hace un año, si empezaste, no sé, hace 20, es arte, vale eso, porque lo estás compartiendo con otras personas. O sea, lo mismo que un trabajo. O sea, si vienen y te dicen, bueno, te voy a pagar $10, decirles que no. O sea, te voy a pagar con alcohol. Pero, ¿qué locura es eso?
Sí.
O sea, ¿qué es eso? Yo lo grabaría y lo publicaría por todos lados. Bueno, pero, ¿viste?
Sí.
Creo que parte de ese problema también es que ya hay artistas que lo aceptan. Entonces, el mayor problema de lo que estás diciendo es que ya hay artistas que lo aceptan. Y esa es la gente que no nos deja a nosotros, los que realmente nos queremos poner un número, progresar como profesionales. ¿Me explico? Y no sé, el otro día también lo estaba conversando con una amiga y le decía, o sea, ¿cómo pedimos más si hay gente que lo hace por menos?
Exacto, como que tú...
O sea, like that makes no sense for a venue, you know? If they can
find someone cheaper, they're gonna hire them.
venues
Of
will
course.
always look for whatever takes care of their pockets. And can you blame them? No.
No, no,
I
not
mean,
at
they're
all.
business owners too. They're entrepreneurs like us in a way.
I think that you know, it's funny because when I got into the house music and I found the community of DJs, because I always played at private parties, so I never met DJs in the whole 13. Yeah, literally the whole 13 years, I probably met like less than 5 DJs in my life.
I also feel like there's a lot more now.
Yeah, no,
Then there,
definitely.
you know.
That helps a lot because it did grow a lot. But what blew my mind was coming into the scene and wanting to get involved and throw my first throw the Selva launch, for example. What blew my mind was that I was finding out DJs didn't get paid. So I was like expecting like I had to pay DJs and I had to figure it out. Like I just knew that I always got like, at least when it came to like a gig, you know, like I just was under the impression like I physically go with my equipment or I do something and it's like I get paid because
And to
it's,
bounce off on like you doing
was-
your own parties, like I think transparency is also very important, especially when you're like doing it with your friends and like you tell them like, hey, look, I'm not even getting paid for this. If you want to come have fun, you
Yeah.
can. People are gonna come. You have a 1 hour set if you choose to, but it's their choice. And you're telling them like, this is not paid,
right.
and they still have the option to say yes or no.
Pro
You know,
bono,
or
I think
like
so.
something else that's like kind of what has been some sort of my experience is that like they'll be like, oh, you'll get a percentage of the bar, and then it's like, okay, but what if only one person goes to drink?
Yeah, no.
So like it's kind of like those things that
I
it's
hate
like
bar percentages.
yeah,
I
that's
just don't even
also
bother.
it's like you might as well have not just told me that you're not gonna pay me, you know. And it's like just what I guess what I'm trying to say is like the importance of transparency,
Oh yeah.
communication, and then that if you say yes or no, okay, that's on you, but at least you're not waiting for something like a
Yeah,
bar
don't-
percentage or
Don't be
just
fooled
Right.
by the obvious that you can make obvious.
exactly
Right, the expectation.
no expectations,
You
no
said
disappointments.
Speak up. I agree with that. I want to also like promote that, ask all the questions you need. Everyone has every right to know what they're walking into, especially as a DJ, as an artist, as a service. What I forgot. I was gonna say something earlier.
It happens, man. It like comes
Oh, it
and
happens
it goes.
to me all the time.
It's
All the
crazy.
time. Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
If
It'll
you
come
find
right
it there,
back.
you catch it, okay?
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Esto tiene que ver con otra cosa también. ¿Cuánta cantidad de DJs conocen que son excelentes y les pagan nada? ¿Cuántos hay que porque llevan gente y porque son conocidos no son buenos, son malísimos, pero como
It's not a popularity
pero
contest.
es
is what it turns
como son
into.
comerciales y todos les pagan
Yeah, there's different versions
fortunas,
of
o sea, ¿están entendiendo eso? Fortunas ganan esa gente. ¿Cómo pensás que se siente un DJ que es preparado, que estudia un montón de años, que está en la era de la evolución de la música, que quiere compartir nuevos sonidos? No, se quedó. O sea, el lugar contrata al que lleva gente, a pesar de que esa música es una que no está buena.
I got my thought.
Just to close on that, creo que se resume en los artistas que lo aceptan y los artistas que no.
Yeah.
Ese es el resumen de todo esto. O sea, la gente que lo acepta y la gente que no.
Les pagan $50,000.
Es una burrada, sí, es verdad. It's a shame. You
No,
have
I
it?
got
It's
it.
here? You
I got
holding
it.
on
I'm
to
holding
it?
on to that. That thing is in a square in my brain.
Just running. No, go for it.
So to go from that, I caught my thought. Basically, we were talking about what people allow, and then that's why others get caught up in it because it's allowed. Once someone allows, that's why we have to promote the correct ways in things. But these correct ways go in anything in life. So it's not like we're just DJs inventing things to support and promote. No. It's just treat others the way you like to be treated. It's the way I always express. That comes deeply from my kindergarten life as a teacher. That I took into the real world, and it's like I was a kindergartner told that treat others the way you want to be treated, and then I became a teacher, and then I was like, in my early 20s. I mean, thinking this in the street, like talking to any stranger, it's like it's so simple. You want to be treated good, treat the person good so that they feel the good, and then they want to reciprocate it to you. And that's how you ask yourself, are you doing good or not? All right, that's how that's rejection is projection. A lot of projection happens because people don't understand what they are holding on to, or not treating correctly, or not analyzing or doing their part on. And
Lots of people walking without therapy.
Exactly, and no,
I'm serious.
I agree with that. I have my therapy. I do my therapy for the last 3 years, and I never realized I didn't realize how it's something so useful and talked about, but not everybody takes the opportunity to retrieve it or connect to that. But what I was gonna add was about a story. Someone told me once that I would say maybe 10 years ago. I don't know the time frame, but I think there was a situation where they were having similar practices in the venues and the nightlife in Miami, and I don't remember the story in detail, but basically there was a moment where all the DJs had gotten together and just cut the acceptance of gigs at the same time though. Like it had to be at the same exact time. It was a strike. The DJs in the city took the strike. This was in Miami.
Do you remember what year it was?
I don't remember the year. I can find that out, but it was with Winwood being up. It was like I believe the actual most venues that like it had to do with people in the scene that are still in the scene as well.
Yeah.
So people relate to what happened back then, if you know. But that came up to my mind because I guess that what I'm assuming is back then they got into the same flow of things. Probably people started getting in. I guess the hype got it. Maybe it was like the first hype of DJing in Miami. I don't know. I gotta look at the history of Miami DJing, but I don't know what number hype we're in. But it goes into the conversation of like everyone wasn't happy with something because things were not right. And that was how they did it. It was a strike. It was basically like the main, or certain venues, like, you know, if you know there's a venue or places not treating correctly, don't fuel those things is what the
I
the
Yeah, I mean, I think I came into this business with a very foggy notion of what I thought I would get paid. What's gonna be like? Because I kept like hearing people saying like, oh, they just make great money, and oh, I mean, if you do 3 nights a week and they pay you $600, you're golden, you know, and I think I had these like false, yeah, like exactly these preconceived notions of what it was to be a DJ and what it was to monetize that. And then I step into the business and it's like, oh fuck, people are paying miserable wages. And that it ranges. Yeah, I just, but when I started getting offers for $100, I was like, are you kidding me? There's no way that people have the audacity to even ask that, to even offer you that.
But again, it's what people accept. So it goes all straight back to that because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're mad that I'm asking you this, but I have 7 people in line ready to accept what you are not.
And then you have those venues that you gotta love, those venues and those agents that with so much unnecessary confidence they're like, well, I've got everybody wanting to play in this venue, you know. Yeah, I have a line of DJs trying to play here, and it's like, can we not talk like if we're about to step into the music? Like I don't even get it. But yeah, there's always that one person that's like, hey, it's like snobby, and they tell you that, and it's kind of annoying, you know.
Sorry, I grabbed your finger, I think. At the end, everything is, it's just like the treating each other, treat others the way you want to be treated. It's what you allow. I think right now, from what I've observed, it's been a year and a half since I've been in the industry, and I personally, I spoke about this in the last episode and my story. Basically, I'm out here throwing a party. I wasn't gaining anything from it, and then I almost lost like my life. They put something in my drink, so you know. So imagine those are the extents. That's why I took a step back. But you see what those little values of those little values are worth in the big picture, and we think of it as like no, yeah, I gotta go everywhere. No, you can support, you can go play, you can have fun, but when you're talking about the professionalism of the industry, um, you're protecting yourself at the end of the day. And take away the music. What were the energy and the effort and all the time it took for you to do the same task for DJing? Make it seem compare it with like another task, like 4 hours of DJing. Let's say 4 hours of organizing like a closet for someone. I don't know, just random analogies, but you're still physically like a human doing something for an outcome and a purpose. Like you're set for the action for those 4 hours, meaning you stop your life to do that, right? And what really opened my eyes was I didn't realize that my life was actually like my life until I was on the bathroom floor at my own party, and I wasn't like, what was I getting out of me giving up? I was doing what I love to do, give opportunity and just hosting the event. But I just want to emphasize, like, I know a lot of people get excited with this scene and the industry, but take care of yourselves, protect yourselves, make sure you know what you want out of it. Folk, protect your energy. I've said that in my song. I recorded myself. I was like, yeah. But protect your energy and just, it all boils down. You're a human doing something, especially as a DJ that touches many lives. So take care of your own life and protect what you offer to the table. Everyone has different things. They have to take responsibility for what they offer on the table. It's just a matter of that and using those skills in your daily life and your daily artist development. And that all goes into your brand is your personality, I think is a phrase that I've heard. Like what the people see you, that's your brand. That's your representation. So it's just a matter of pushing out positive, positive. The words are like not coming to me today. Positive, good for you. I need a word. Positive
Great.
and like productive, I guess. Tips and knowledge out, because the more that others have that knowledge, the more we all fit in correctly.
And I was gonna add very quickly. You just never know who's watching. You never know who's watching at any level. Whether it's somebody that looks up to you, whether it's somebody that wants to hire you, whether like I have a little niece right now. She's my goddaughter, and she copies my every move. So I feel this tremendous responsibility to to be a good human being for her, you know, and the same can be said like within my career. You never know who's out there saying like, damn, Anama's killing it. Like I love what she's doing. Totally.
And also, like, obviously you have like a DJ duos, but most of the time it's just you, and very seldom do you see like more than 3 people behind a deck, and you are responsible also with like what you do. Like for example, I most of the time DJ alone, and that's just you versus you, and that's you have to be responsible for what you're also showing people that are, like she said, looking up to you or there to see what you have to offer, and yeah.
Really?
No, digo verdades, digo verdades. Si una persona se dedica como profesión a ser DJ, lo último que tiene que pensar es que va a vivir de esa profesión, o sea, porque o sea, no va a vivir de eso. Si piensa que va a ir a un venue, va a ganar dinero y con eso va a pagar su renta, su casa, su auto, o sea, no puede ser DJ. Simple.
So you're
Eh,
speaking más como
ah-
de mente
ahora,
empezar, tú dices.
no, lo que yo digo es,
Expectations.
si realmente quieres ser DJ y porque te gusta la música, porque te gusta crear, te gusta compartir arte, te gusta, bueno, todo lo que
¿Qué
influye.
sugieres entonces para las personas que, por ejemplo, tú dices que no pueden vivir de esto? ¿Cómo puedes seguir
Es
siendo DJ y, por ejemplo, pagar
porque
tu
amas
casa?
la música, porque amas la música, ¿entiendes? Pero, o sea, te tienes que olvidar que vas a vivir de eso, porque no, o sea, un DJ no puede vivir de eso, a menos que sea súper conocido, pero ese conocido llega ahí por los contactos que tiene y no por la música. Yo creo que tengo esperanza de que más adelante van a empezar a surgir un montón de DJs con mucha música más avanzada, porque ya estamos en el futuro, y que como que se va a organizar un poco más. Pero ahora con tanta tecnología hay millones de personas que son DJs, digamos, no son DJs, bueno, no sé. Si ellos creen que son DJs, lo son, porque uno es lo que cree, pero digo, hay tantos y tantos y tantos y tantos ahora que es casi imposible no encontrar uno, ¿entiendes lo que te digo? Pero esto es buenísimo que haya pasado, porque cada persona tiene la posibilidad de expresar todo lo que tiene adentro, que todas las personas en realidad somos sonidos y músicas y frecuencias y energía, eso somos las personas. Entonces, ahora con tanta tecnología, millones de personas expresan su arte. Y hay millones de personas que nunca van a ganar dinero, primero porque no quieren, no pueden, no tienen venues y no les interesa. Y hay otros que por ahí lo toman mucho más comercial y dicen, bueno, yo quiero vivir de esto. Bueno, si vas a vivir de esto, vas a tener que ir a un lugar a tocar la música que no te gusta, ¿entiendes lo que te digo? O sea,
Yo creo que a mí me gusta verlo como en una nota más positiva, en como que vivir de DJing, por ejemplo, se ve diferente en todas las personas, porque lo que para mí es valioso no va a ser lo mismo para otra persona. Yo vivo una vida muy minimalista versus no necesito un carro, el mejor carro, no necesito la mejor casa. Y sí puedo eventualmente vivir de eso porque depende del estilo de vida, depende de lo que quieres, depende de lo que te gusta. Entonces yo creo que, o sea, no me gusta ponerlo como en general que no puedes vivir sobre eso porque sí lo puedes hacer. Y si te esfuerzas lo más posible, definitivamente lo puedes hacer todo lo que tú puedas, lo que tú quieras hacer. Si tú quieres vivir siendo DJ y tú te propones hacer eso, lo vas a lograr. Digo yo. I think that everything that you put your mind to, you eventually you do it. And the point is to do it great and to try your best and hopefully that you get there.
sí, yo no digo que no puede, o sea, in the beginning, cuando empiezas a estudiar música, cuando empiezas a practicar para ser DJ, lo último que tienes que pensar es que vas a vivir de eso, ¿entiendes?
To
O sea,
eliminate stress,
obviamente,
I
sí.
believe.
Yo veo, mi agencia es súper orgánica, mi agencia es orgánica. Si yo quisiera ganar dinero, estaría llena de dinero ahora. Pero como no quiero transar con diferentes cosas, porque defiendo a mis DJ, porque defiendo a las mujeres, porque quiero que hagan un camino sano y orgánico, y porque tengo que cuidar, porque no voy a negociar con aquel, porque sé que aquel no está bien lo que hace. Entonces, vivo minimalista. Como tú. Es lo que es.
See, in the conversation, from what I get at it, is that it's like you sign up for a job and you expect a paycheck, right? DJing is it is a career now. It's a new career for many, in a sense, because not everybody had the opportunity to just test it out wherever, whenever, like now. So as a DJ, I've seen the difference. I always DJed from the side as a hobby. I always said I retired when I was like 21. I was like, oh no, I would only DJ as I got booked. Like if I'd be doing life in college and someone would be like, hey Christina, you still DJing? I'm like, yeah, I have the equipment. I want to book you for Christmas. Okay. But that was it. But the idea is to not allow the stress of your financial stress motivate you as a like I need to play gigs because I need to make my rent. No. That defeats the purpose of the love of music as to why DJing got to where it is. DJing wouldn't have gotten to where it is if people didn't love music and adapt the sound of music while messing around with sounds. Yeah. That's what DJing is. You're putting the sounds together because you want to check out what it makes. Yeah. You didn't, and then now you have producers, and we go and we make our own music to play. That becomes more of the actual system of like business and a monetization. But as an artist, you don't like sign up on Indeed.com expecting your paycheck for a DJ. And that's where it's tricky for some, because a lot of people find out they like it, then they think, okay, well, they pay DJs, that's it. I'm gonna do this, but then that becomes stressful for everyone because then people are fighting for gigs. And that's not the point. It's not about the gigs. It's about the music you play at the gigs. Yeah. Naturally, you're gonna. And so that was like, I think that is where the conversations all led to, from what I got. And we have 3 minutes left, so we'll have to wrap it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I also think that if you move correctly in this city, if you create the right kind of contacts, if you put the right type of price, if you put yourself out there, this city is filled with opportunities, period. And it has shown me time and time again. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I am very lucky to live comfortably off of music, and I do think it's possible, but you need to know how to move. Yeah. And you need to meet the right people that are going to defend you when it comes to your pockets.
100%.
You know, the right agents, that are gonna, put their best foot forward. I mean, like Billy does it for her DJs.
Tengo una idea. Entonces, vamos a poner una parte de la agencia que sea todas para DJs mujeres. Y ya les aviso que empieza desde $300. O sea, si no puedes pagar $300 para contratar una DJ mujer que montones son madres y hacen el esfuerzo y ponen toda su emoción y todo. Pero hay una parte de mi agencia que ponemos para mujeres. Empieza por $300. Después, obviamente, si quieren pagar más, bueno, maravilloso ahí, lindo.
Very good. Yeah.
Vamos, ahí va.
Yes, and the idea is just a matter of communicating. It's just a matter of expressing the thoughts. People sometimes don't know, like they say, like if people don't know what they're doing wrong, then they don't fix it. Right. So it's just a matter of being expressful.
No aceptamos alcohol ni ninguna.
Yeah,
no.
like setting the standards.
Claro.
We can do, all we can do as artists is set the standards for ourselves and those that come behind.
Set the standard.
Set the standard.
Set the standard. Know your price. Help us move forward, not down.
Yeah, because if not, everybody, there's no structure, and you need, at the end, you do need leadership in everything. Like, somebody's got to say something. I know it's hard to say, but
if
at
more
this point,
all
together,
it's a
lot
more powerful. It's a lot more powerful.
I'm gonna be on the news. But Thank you so much, everyone, for watching today. I had such a amazing time talking
Thank you,
with all of
Christy.
you.
Thank you,
and-
Billy, for having us.
And today that wraps
Thank
up
you,
our
thank you,
girl
thank you.
chat. You guys can all say bye. I'm Christy Hearns, and I'll say bye
Bye-bye.
right now.
Jazz hands.
Thank you so much again. My name is Anama.
I'm Artie.
And you can find us on social media. I'm under Anama Sounds.
I'm under Odo RD. It's ODOARDI. Odo RD, yeah. That's my last name, by the way. Yeah.
Say bye.
Bye, thank you so much. One sec. Y si quieren contratar algunas de todas las DJs talentosas que tenemos, Billy Violet, DJ Agency.